6 months ago, the most exclusive club at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the four-time winners of the Indy 500, grew from 3 to 4. Now, that number will never get smaller, but it does feel a bit different today, as Al Unser Sr. has passed away at 82 years old. Unser won his fourth 500 in 1987, still the oldest driver to win the greatest spectacle in racing, nearly 48 at the time. He also holds the race record for most laps led, 644 over his 27 times competing on the hallowed grounds of the Speedway. And for IndyCar fans, this news makes this moment just so much more special as the series was able to get all four-time winners together this summer. Some statements from a few great champions. AJ Foyt, you can find on Twitter, saying, among other things, how sad this day is, how he remembered Al as a smart and cool driver. And then from the newest member of the club, Elio Castroneves, on Instagram, sharing a shot there with Big Al and the Borg Warner Trophy, saying, "Rest in peace, Al. You will be missed." And he certainly is. We welcome in Bruce Martin, longtime IndyCar reporter here on the Fox 59 Red Couch on the Fast Break. Bruce, this is news that the IndyCar and the motorsports community could see coming, given his battle with cancer for so many years, but still one that certainly shakes a blow to them for sure.
We could see it coming, and we were prepared for it, but it's still a shock when the news comes in. Al Unser was yet another true giant of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the Indianapolis 500. Think of the millions of kids who in 1970 and 71 owned Johnny Lightning race sets. That was one of the greatest mass communication sponsors, probably one of the first in Indy 500 history that reached a wide audience, because back then you either had a Hot Wheels set or you had a Johnny Lightning set. And I still think the Johnny Lightning special in those years is probably the best looking, most iconic car in Indy 500 history.
What do you remember from Al covering him off the track? Because on the track, his accomplishments, we can list them over and over, but you got to know the person as well from your years covering the series.
Well, I was talking to Rick Mears earlier tonight, and I compared the two. They were similar in a lot of ways in that when they were active race drivers, they weren't the best interviews in the world, especially Al. Al was a man of few words. You know, trying to get a really good interview out of him was really difficult. When he retired, you couldn't get the guy to stop talking. He just had all these great stories. He had a sense of humor that a lot of people didn't really know about, because when he was racing, he was a serious guy. And one thing Rick Mears said was he was a driver that lurked around in the background, but if he was still up on the lead lap toward the end of the race, you knew you were going to have to fight Al Unser in order to win the race.
It was always a family affair with the Unsers, too, with Bobby and Little Al also winning 500s in their career. I think that this entire family is one that so many in the IndyCar community fans try to think of really as their family, because they've spent time with them or celebrated with them throughout the years.
Since Bobby Unser's passing in early May, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway has lost 7 Indy 500 winners with 2 drivers.
Yeah.
3 from Bobby Unser, today 4 with Al Unser. Al Unser is a key link, and he is the only man in Indy 500 history who's had a brother win the Indy 500 and a son win the Indy 500 with Al Unser Jr.
That win when he was 48 years old, nearly 48, that's something that truly stands out to me. I mean, you get special years of guys you don't expect to win the 500, like 5 years ago. Alexander Rossi as a rookie, but probably not many people thought that Al had anything left in the tank, but he came out and certainly showed them what was really up.
He didn't have a ride when he showed up for the Indianapolis 500. Danny Ongaias crashed the car, was not cleared to drive, was not allowed to compete in the race. Roger Penske went and got a year-old show car out of a hotel up in Reading, Pennsylvania. They brought it back, year-old engine, year-old show. Nobody gave that car a chance. Who won the race? Al Unser. At the end of the race, the 2 new cars driven by Rick Mears and Danny Sullivan, both those engines blew up. But the old car, the show car, won the race, and Big Al was the second 4-time winner of the Indy 500.
That's Bruce Martin. We always appreciate his insight when it comes to IndyCar. Certainly the same today. Rest in peace to Big Al Unser Sr., a 4-time winner of the Indianapolis 500, the second person to accomplish that feat. Al Unser Sr. dead today at the age of 82. We'll be right back on the Friday Night Fast Break here on Fox 59.